Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Thursday morning, 12 hours after the last recording. We've got a little bit more time, a little bit more space. Tainted Bethany, Hush Lamb. Is this allowed? Is this allowed? Okay, it's allowed. At that price, he can hit. And Tainted Bethany is Leamington. Okay, I respect Leamington. I like Leamington. I get Leamington. Leamington doesn't always get me what I want it to get me, but it's okay. So I got trapped in the side. I don't know, why couldn't I just dodge to the left? You wouldn't understand. You ever see Zoolander? I can't turn left. Isn't it a little weird that Ben Stiller was kind of using a British accent when he was playing Zoolander? Like, most of the time, he just spoke like, kind of an American man. I know there's multiple American accents, but you know what I mean. Like, the American accent that doesn't really exist, but instead it has, like, all of the twang and the drawl and the, hey, I'm walking here, like, smoothed off of it. Like, the accent that all newscasters use. In other news, a cat got lost in a tree today. The fire department had to rescue it. Over to you, Jennifer. Like nobody on Earth talks like that at home. Like, you really think that news anchors are at home? Whether you're from Sterling, Virginia, or like downtown Manhattan, New York City, the newscasters are, they all sound the same. Please, honey. And next, pass the potatoes. I'm sure they got their own character at home. By the way, I'm just throwing. This is what's known as a throw in this business. But Leamington is top tier, so I ain't sweating. I waited so long for like an you piece, dude. I can't run. I can't sleep. I can't hold still. I don't want to use my Leamingtons, but sometimes you gotta. I'd rather save them for a potential deal with the devil, but I mean, I guess we'd prefer a deal with the angel, maybe, but I don't know. We'll see. This is it's a bad start, and the worst part is it's all my faults. I'm playing way too aggressively here early. Tier size? It had to be you, huh? So I dropped our daughter off at daycare early this morning. Whoa! I tried to split the wickets, man. I'm dead. Life comes at you fast. Holy crap. It's like the worst I've played at the start of an Isaac run in a long, long time. I'm a little burned out, just to be straight up. Oh, it's so hard playing video games. No, it's like, it's just, things are packed to the side. So now I'm going to start making excuses. But I dropped off, my daughter at daycare early this morning. Managed to sneak out a little bit earlier today. She was a little bit less upset, which, that's the idea, which is nice. But I gotta tell you, like, had some anecdotes. Well, specifically one anecdote, right? Like, well, in a city, not just in Vancouver, but in a city, there's a lot of, shared buildings. Like, every building, essentially, I think, without exception, in the city core of Vancouver, has a locked security door at the front of it. Whether you're going to, a doctor's office or, not a restaurant, but any kind of, like, either office building or, a service provider, pardon me, of some extent is kind of set up almost like, I'm being incorrect. Let me rephrase so it's more sensible, okay? If you can go to a store, that's no problem. You can walk into a store, you don't need to buzz in like it's the jewelry store from Uncut Gems or something like that. If you're going to, like, a doctor's office, physiotherapy, dentist's office, especially, in certain areas of the city, they're gonna have you wait outside, buzz in, be like, hey, it's me, which is like a foolproof security method, and then they'll buzz you in, right? So I was leaving the daycare facility, and there was a lady standing outside. She had a hand truck. You're very much, I apologize if this makes me seem like a narc, okay? you're very much not supposed to let other people in unless they have the keys to enter the building, or you have hired them to be like movers, or, you know, install your fridge or whatever. Because there's a lot of break-ins. Like, you know, we've had our car broken into in the time that I've lived in Vancouver. We're gonna hold this for a sec. My car has been broken into twice, but like parking lots that I've been parked in have had break-ins, like, I would say like once every 6 months. So, like, it's pretty common, right? People are very aware of, like, shared building security and stuff like that here. So, I was leaving the building, and she was waving at me, and I was like, I'm sorry, I don't live here. I can't let you in. To which she, undeterred, replied, it's okay, we're the movers. And it was one of those, like, incomplete information things where I was like, you know, in my head I was like, I don't think you understand. I completely believe that you are movers, but you are not my movers as a result. Like, I can't be the person who lets this building get burglarized because of the fact that, you know, you happen to have a hand truck. Like, that would be the robber's best friend, you know, a construction vest or a hand truck or something, you know, like a hard hat. So I was like, no, I can't let you in, I'm a guest. And she said, it's okay, we just don't, like, these people don't have a brick to keep the door propped open, so I need to keep getting in and out. And I was like, yeah, they don't have a brick to keep the door propped open for security reasons, because you're not supposed to, like, let people that you don't know into the building, so you're gonna have to, like, work this out with the person who hired you. I am very rarely confrontational on this level, but like, I was like, I'm in the right here. I get that it sucks, by the way. I didn't get an adrenaline shot from being like, you know, show me your keys. You know, it wasn't like that. It was more like, you know, there's amongst other things, there's like a daycare here with my own child in it, especially, but also, you know, several other children. If it was another parent dropping their kid off or picking their kid up, I wouldn't want them letting someone into the building just because they have a hand truck. Like, I'm sorry that the person who hired you kind of sucks and has not, you know, made you aware of the issue that, you know, they're going to need to give you, like, one of their RFID readers so you can get into the building consistently. But, you know, I hate to Tobey Maguire it, but I'm like, I missed the part where that's my problem. She was not pleased. But that's okay, because I just left. I just walked away. I recognize, by the way, this story does not... This is a divisive, you know, React court. We're not going. We shouldn't have even walked in. Oh, we should have used our Lemingtons, though. I'm stupid. That's a divisive, like, React court type situation. A lot of people would have been like, you know, oh, just let her in. I mean, there's like a 99.9% chance that she's a mover, right? Like, I'm not trying to act like I just stopped, like, the great heist, but I'm also like, you know, there's a protocol here for a reason, because, you know, there have been crimes associated with this in the past, and there's, you know, kids in there that you gotta keep safe. Hold on. You a piece? I thought we had more charges than that. Anyway, I mean, I'm not proud of myself. It was more like, I felt like I was just struggling to have the conversation where she was like, okay, it's okay, we're the movers. And I was like, what do you mean? There's like, you know, there's like 18 businesses that are here. I don't know, like, I just told you, like, you know, I'm not even, you know, involved with this building outside of a professional context. And you're like, no, don't worry, we're the movers. Oh, in that case, well, come on in. I just thought you were a hand truck enthusiast before, and I was just kind of being an a-hole for no reason. Anyway, I'm not, look, by the way, I've been in this situation myself where, because of this security, like, I've been locked inside of my own garbage room before. That's embarrassing. You know, find myself, you know, you go down to the garbage room, you gotta use, you know, a security key to get into the garbage room so that you can deposit your cans and your papers and stuff like that. Then you leave your key on top of like one of the recycling bins just so you have a... Ooh. Verb? Just so you have a second free hand, and then, you know, before you know it, you've accidentally exited the building or the room, and now you gotta, you know, your keys are locked in the garbage room, but you need a key to get there. You gotta call your wife, hey honey, I'm stupid, can you come pick me up? It's happened many a time. Anyway, so that's my anecdote. But it's not much, but keep in mind, it's been 12 hours since the last recording, and also, like, 7 of those hours were, like, trying to sleep. And then there was some driving involved, and then, you know, I ate some breakfast and so on and so forth. You know, we're not exactly, like, you know, it's not like it's been 10 years since the last episode. I'm so freaking strapped for time, man. I haven't even... The Dream? I haven't even seen this week's episode of Survivor yet. But I also, like, don't care about spoilers. Did you... Okay, can I be honest with you? I'm starting to understand, but yeah, I guess I've always understood why people were, like, maybe anti-Marvel. Because there's a number of reasons, okay? One is Disney's hegemony in the entertainment industry, especially as they keep making more and more acquisitions. Another thing is, as much as I enjoy them, a lot of the movies follow pretty much exactly the same formula, you know? Superhero gets their powers. Wow, this is amazing. Then they meet somebody who's like, I'm you but stronger. And then, you know, they experience a denouement, which is like a crisis of their own faith. Then, you know, they get a new Pym particle where we reverse the magnetic spin on the atoms. Now you can punch 10 times harder. And then, you know, they come back and, you know, kill them and... You know, and then there's an after-credits scene where someone's like, do you have any venom? And people are like, this changes everything, okay? So when I get out, there's gonna be carnage. So I get that's a DC thing, but just allow me the joke, please. Regardless, I enjoy them. They have a certain workman-like predictability, a guilty pleasure, if you will, because they're, you know, artistically non-challenging, but still enjoyable, and... You know, the idea, as much as I, like, literally just kind of derided it, my luck trinket? The idea that, you know, the movies also fit into other movies beyond just being, like, direct sequels and stuff is kind of, it's been novel for a while, but it's still kind of cool, okay? But, one of the reasons, another reason people might not like it is because, you know, for, like, a decade, one came out, like, every 3 months. And dominated like a lot of discussion and attention, and also they're pretty popular, and popular things just, you know, by virtue of their scale are more likely to attract some negativity, right? So I understand all that. I'm also starting to realize that another reason that people dislike Marvel is because some Marvel fans have lost their minds. Did you see? So the Eternals came out, okay? And there was... what have I done? Never should have used that, but also it's kind of funny. 48-hour energy. I mean, there's some Leamington action there, right? Why not? Hold on, this is... it's a disaster. I don't know what I'm doing. Holy crap! He's going off. This dude's spitting. By the way, before I forget, I had a meme that I thought could go viral. So the tweet was going to be in all caps, and then it was going to say, like in breathless all caps, this one goes out to all the MFs who use their turn signals at a 4-way stop. And then it was going to be a screenshot of Bruno Mars on YouTube, You're Amazing Just the Way You Are. Or Baby, I'm Amazed. That would be another possibility. I'm not doing another room, dude. We got to get to the Hush fight here. I got things to do today. But another reason is because some Marvel fans have lost their minds. Like and some of them are like the critics. They're like adult human beings. And I say that with knowing that it's a little rude, but work with me here for a second before you damn me to the court of public opinion, okay? So the Eternals came out. There were spoilers from not only like Trolls Online, but also from like media outlets. And I agree. I think it's really bad form for like Variety to just be sending tweets out into the ether that are like, hey, in the post-credits scene, blank happens. You know, that's the kind of thing where I get that you're like an industry publication, like you're a periodical, but at the same time, maybe like put it in the paper, but don't tweet it out, I guess is what I would say. But regardless, you know, it caused a fervor, and people lost their minds, as they sometimes do around this stuff. And then, like, an actual critic, or at least a podcaster, and I don't make that distinction to be rude, but there is a different standard, I would say. Like, and I'm more on the podcaster side in my own line of work, you know? Like, you have different responsibilities and different standards, you know, when you're like a fan content producer, like your enthusiast media versus like, you know, you're supposed to be an investigative journalist. But anyway, or even a critic at large. You know, I without being rude, like, you know, I mean, come on, we all know, this isn't like a conspiracy theory that, you know, there's the Hollywood Reporter and there's, you know, Richard Roper from the Chicago Sun-Times. And then there's like, you know, Bill from superherohype.com. And when you see the reviews of a Marvel movie and you see, you know, this is the best movie ever made, holy crap, you got to look at the byline. And if you see that it's from Bill at superheromovies.com, you're like, well, he said that about Doctor Strange. So, you know, you just say, it's not like his opinion is discounted. It's just you got to keep it in mind. You know, if Owen Gleiberman from Variety is like, you know, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is the best action movie ever made, you would be like, holy crap, this guy's favorite movie is like The Bridge Over the River Kwai. This seems like this is a watershed moment for this, you know, this film franchise. But if it's like, you know, I'm from, you know, comicbooksenpai.com, you're like, okay, I'm glad to hear that it's good by the fans, because that's really what I want as well, but, you know. Anyway, you made a tweet that was like, in all honesty, because this keeps happening, I think everybody that sees a pre-release screening of these Marvel movies should be forced to sign an NDA, where if they release spoilers, they're culpable for the, like, economic damage that happens to the movie as a result. And you're like, man, look, it's one, you're both wrong and not wrong, right? Like, it's not nice to release spoilers for something that people are excited for, and the reveals are part of the bargain for people, I understand. I also, you know, when I saw, like, Infinity War and Endgame, I saw them opening night. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, because not everybody has the ability to go see a movie at, like, 11 p.m. on a Thursday. Certainly, I don't have that ability anymore. But, you know, I get it. People are excited, and it's not good to release those spoilers. At the same time, you're really gonna, like, you know, ruin somebody's life because they're like, oh, you know, and this is a fake spoiler. Okay, I'm just making this up. You know, if you watch the new Doctor Strange movie, and at the end they reveal that, like, Mary Jane Watson is a Skrull or something like that, you know, you're really gonna ruin somebody's life for that. You know, hey, why are you in jail? Oh, I owe Disney, you know, $75 million because I accidentally revealed that, you know, Uncle Ben was just a projection of Mysterio, right? Like, it's just, these are people's lives, you know? And I get that, you know, in a hand-wringing sense, you know, the people who worked on the movie, like, it's their lives too. But, you know, that's why I'm saying all crimes should be in the hands exclusively of the victims. If you animated the green smoke that comes out of Mysterio's head during that moment, you and you alone, not a jury of their peers, you and you alone, get to choose their punishment and the severity of it. And I think that would solve a lot of problems in society. It would also create some problems. I would not dispute the creation of some problems, I think. On the other hand, I think it would solve some, too. Anyway, I just, like, you know, can we just, like, get along a little bit more? Just a little bit more? I get that. We also have to be aware of the fact, you know, I was gonna say Italian for fallacy to make it seem that much more hoity-toity, but all I could come up with was fellatio, which is a little, you know, but a fellatio ad Twittarium, which is, you know, finding the dumbest thing on Twitter for that given day and then treating it as if it's representative of the populace at large. But like, come on, man. I own, like, actually all the Marvel movies. Except... Hold on. Except... Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I've not seen yet, and Eternals, which has not come out yet. I got the rest. I got the box set with the weird orb. I got the box set with the Avengers briefcase, you know, where they sent to the P.O. box. Yes, but I wasn't like, oh no. I was like, oh, Pog. Let's go. We're not gonna do boss rush, by the way. I'm being a little lazy on this run, but it is what it is. We all need to fight you. Active Contrition is pretty sick. We're supposed to do the lamb, so let's think about doing the lamb. Was that Tiny Planet? D100. Spoonbender Mom's Knife is like... It's just not that good. We should have used our Lemingtons. I guess it doesn't matter what room we really use them on. Holy crap. You seeing these wisps, man? Y'all ready for wisps? But like, I like the Marvel movies a lot. And there was a time in my life I was, you know, for like a month before one came out, I would be like, oh, you know, really looking forward to catching Ant-Man and the Wasp in theaters on opening night. What the heck was I thinking? So stupid! Anyway, it's not that bad. It's merely watchable. I apologize to all the Ant-Man 2 fans out there. I love Walton Goggins. Who doesn't? Kind of wasted in the movie, admittedly, but like, you really want to like ruin somebody's life over like, you know, hey, oh no, you know, Gleep Glorp is, you know, I don't even know what to say. Thanos' butler appears in this movie. Google searches, Google Trends, maxes out. Gleep Glorp, Thanos' brother, ending confirmed. You know, it's just... I'm not pro-spoiler. Like, I've said it before. Like, there's a radio station in Vancouver, you know, when I used to listen to the car radio. I know you're going to be like, this story must be from the 90s. No, from 2017. And they styled themselves as, like, an edgy radio station. And their whole thing, like, they have one, segment that's called like spoiler alert, and then all they do is like, with no jokes attached to it, they just like spoil movies, you know? Bruce Willis was dead at the end of Sixth Sense. Spoiler alert! Like, there's no joke associated with it at all. It's just like the laziest form of comedy, you know? It was like, I imagine there's a person in my head that would be mad at this, and as a result, I find it very funny that someone is saying it. I've never met a person who's like, you know, please, I mean, we've all met people who are a little over the top about, you know, being upset about spoilers, maybe, but... You know, there's anybody that's like a movie that's 20 years old and you're like, oh, out of nowhere I got spoiled, I'm upset. Like, that's not common, I think. There's, you know, that's one guy... who is, you know, we all know him. So we're like, hey, at the end of The Illusionist, Paul Giamatti finds out that Edward Norton did the crimes, you know? And you're like, oh, I was gonna watch that right after I know it's been out since 2008, but I was gonna... That was on my watch list. It was in my letterbox rushes. You know, I simultaneously, like, I think that, you know, just ruining a movie for someone as a joke, it doesn't bother me. Like, you could, I'm just being sincere. Like, if you tweet me, like, Marvel spoilers, I will see them and go, huh, well, and then because you're, like, a a-hole, like, I'm gonna block you. So if you're doing, like, a block percent speed run, like, by all means, but I'm not gonna, you know, it's not gonna weigh on my mind for like more than 10 seconds. So you know, if you really got nothing to do, then I suppose I'm inviting it without inviting it. I'm laying out the conditions there. It's not like you piece, I'm gonna come to your house. And I'm gonna, oh, you ruined Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings for me. But at the same time, so I think it's like, it's a rude thing to do. But also, like, you gotta chill on the, like, if somebody spoils how Sam Jackson got his eye patch, we should put them in prison. Like, that's a little much. Anyway. Then again, you never know. When Disney buys the NYPD, it's possible that we might start to see stuff like this happen. And you know what? Maybe it would be for the best. Probably not. But it would solve a lot of problems. Well, it would solve one problem. Which is rampant spoilering. It would also create one more problem, which is like, how do you put all these 12-year-olds into the justice system? Jeez Louise. Surge pricing. Okay, so we're supposed to fight Hush. Here I am fighting Hush. This is fine. Cards can be amazing. Cards can also be bad. Okay. Cards can be amazing. And they can also be, like, not that useful at all. Hush shouldn't be a problem. Mom's knife is, like, it's not the ideal setup, but that's okay. What is this? Ace of Spades. Okay. I will take the Iron Bar, also known as Iron Bar. I will take Worm Friend, also known as Worm Friend. Lamington to my heart's content. Ruin my knife. Okay, awesome. Love to see it. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's my thoughts on everything. That being said, if you try to get into a secure building without having the key, you should be thrown in prison with the people that are spoilering movies for people. I guess not spoilering, but spoiling. You know my thoughts on spoilers for the most part. Like, we're gonna lose everything we... This happens every time, by the way. We're gonna lose everything we've got, Wisp-wise, and then just be stuck with our normal build, but our normal build is still gonna be frickin' sweet, dude. Hey, if knowledge is the key, then just show me a lock. Or even better, show me 24 locks, because we just got a bunch of keys. Welcome back. My thoughts on spoilers are, like, you know, I think people are overly paranoid about them. And if you're gonna be... I mean, I think you're just setting yourself up for failure if you're the kind of person who's very anal about spoilers, and yet also is not seeing movies within, like, 6 months of their theatrical release. And I don't say that as, like, oh, we should have the right to spoil movies for you. I just mean more like, aren't you miserable? You know, it's like being like, I've got a huge appetite, but also, like, I can only eat things from this cafe that's open 2 hours a day, right? Like, it just seems like it overly complicates your life unnecessarily. But maybe you don't have full control over that, I suppose. It's possible. It's never happened to me, so how would I know? Anyway, that's all I got. I haven't even watched dang Survivor yet, man. So, like, I gotta, and again, it's not complaining. It's out of, you know, either, you know, trying to find a place to relate or finding some solidarity. But, like, you gotta plan, like, 3 days. Can I give you, this is a real story. Like, I mean, it's not just a real story. This is a thing that happened. This is what it's like to be a parent and be busy. You know, which are not necessarily mutually inclusive, I suppose, but, you know, yesterday, Kate said to me, in 2 weeks we have daylight savings time where we fall back. I'm really looking forward to it. So that's where you're at with a 1-year-old, or at least where we're at right now, is like, what's on my calendar right now? I'm really excited for a Saturday 2 weeks from now, when in theory I could get 1 extra hour of sleep. Oh, it's you. Okay, it's you. Or stay awake 1 hour longer without being penalized. Somnambulatorily. That's how that word works, I'm sure. Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you, I might just fight Mega Satan. Just to expedite the whole process here. not really trying to speed through it, but I think most people would probably be like, it's more fun to fight Mega Satan. And then also on top of that, it would expedite things. There is that. That being said, dude, I mean, my feelings, that's Guppy. Oop. Toasty. My feelings on daylight savings are entirely predicated upon whether it's October or March. It's definitely true. In October, what's funny is that it depends on your perception, right? Do you feel like in October you're getting a loaned hour and then in March you're giving it back? I feel like psychologically that's easier to deal with. Or do you feel like, you know, you're getting an hour that you rightfully deserve in October and then the calendar gods are coming in March to take it away from you? Also, I do need to say, I need to remember that last year I actually flipped the script, and believe it or not, if you recall, I became the daylight savings defender. Now, I honestly, like, could not care less whether the government keeps it or gets rid of it. I think getting rid of it makes the most sense in principle, just so we, like, you know, never have to worry about changing our clocks again. I think that should be the base case. Like, you gotta think about it. Daylight savings is one of those things, like, if somebody suggested it in 2021, you would be like, really? You want everybody in our time zone to change their clocks by 1 hour at 2 a.m. You want like 7 million people to all change their clocks by 1 hour for what, you know? So it's brighter earlier, or we have the illusion of it being brighter earlier. I think that it would not pass muster now. But I did enjoy it in the spring when daylight savings happened. We out of here, man. And I got to, you know, take walks with the baby, and it was, you know, light longer. It wasn't cooking dinner at like 6:30 p.m. in the pitch black darkness. I mean, we had lights in our house, but you get the idea. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Pardon me, helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya. I closed the game. That's, by the way, that's how quickly I closed the game after I finished recording an episode. I did not even stop the recording. I was just like, lights out. See you next time.